Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Worldology. Today's video is going to be about whether or not the launch of Battlefield 6 was, good. So, everybody had a pretty mild day. The Battlefield community did a lot of good for Battlefield 6 in the launch date. It was about 700,000 people concurrently playing the game, and I think that broke the milestone of almost like I heard it was Apex Legends that had 600,000. It broke a lot of milestones. Battlefield did, EA, Dice did what they need to do to make Battlefield good. So I just want to get some things off my chest about Battlefield 6 and how it felt to me and to other people who felt the same way. And I will just say that yes, this is all, opinionated, but there are some things that, you know, will probably have a lot of dissatisfaction in the future, and it will possibly get very, very aggravating the more you play, how it was playing in the background. So I'm gonna get into the gist of it, and hey, sit back and tune in. So the first the first thing that I experienced is the movement nerf. So, excuse wordology in the background. The first thing that was very, very unusual was how the movement was. So, it's hard to actually explain what's going on in the background because obviously you're not feeling what I'm feeling and you're not playing in my POV. But I will say that the movement feels like it's off. It feels like sometimes you get stuck in positions you're not supposed to be in. You get stuck on certain tiny nicks and crannies of, what's in the map and some assets in the map. And it can very much feel like it's not necessarily supposed to be how it is now. You know what I mean? Again, I think the beta that we all played, the open beta, is the movement was way better than the movement now. Like, yeah, the movement is, it still looks fine, still plays fine, but it's just the getting stuck and having to have a delay. And I'm gonna talk about the delay and the tick rate and stuff later, but it's just a lot of stuff that needs to be like reverted back to the original state of the movement because, and it's just it's not necessarily too it's not good to have, movement in the position it is right now because you get stuck on every single crack and cranny again. And if, buildings is falling down and you want to slide out the way and do something, some movement to get out the way, you just can't do it because you get stuck on something. And when you slide, you instantly stop in a position, and then the debris fall on your face. You get rocks all over your, face and stuff, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. So I do want to state that there are a few good things about the movement. The movement feels more fluid, and I do like how they implemented the BF4 and BF3 style of the optic sway when you jump around. So I figured out in my stream, if you want, you can tune into my stream at Kick, Twitch, YouTube, Worldology. When you jump in ADS, BF4 and BF3, you have optic sway. And when your optics sway around, you have to control your gun to be able to hit your target, right? Of course. So they made that way smoother, and it feels like it's actually a BF4 style type of, implement that they did, and they actually can actually master it. I think they almost mastered it because it feels very fluid and it doesn't feel necessarily, out of place for Battlefield, obviously because it's been in Battlefield for a long time. It's just the sliding and it doesn't feel fluid as you do it with the slide. Like yeah, you don't need to slide and do the jump at the same time, obviously. And even if you do, you'll die instantly because you're nerfing yourself two times by doing a slide to revert your aim, and then you have to revert your aim again when jumping and trying to optic sway. So it's just like they need to revert something about the movement or have like a little bit of percentage to lessen the stop rate or the reduction of the movement speed when you get out of that, out of the end of a slide or in the middle of the slide, whatever. The next thing about what I experienced in Battlefield is the tick rate. So I heard I don't I heard that in Portal it was a 30 hertz tick rate. That's very bad. And in the original game or in the official game in the background it's 60 hertz. So the 60 hertz gameplay is very good. It's very registerable, right? But it's also a thing when the optimization again is not necessarily too good at the moment. Maybe because like 700,000 people tried to log in at the same time, and everybody was creating servers at the same time. But the servers and the optimization wasn't good, so everything that was destroying the buildings and RPGs and tanks and everything that was grenades that was blowing up near you, it will actually you know drop those frames as well as a tick rate. So it's like I think they should get that tick rate up so we can have a consistent a consistency of hitting our targets, being able to get out of dodge from targets where we should, and again have fair gameplay. But everything according to the tick rate is all right. And my final thing that I have with Battlefield is the visibility. The visibility is very bad. I could not necessarily see on my POV on the screen in the background. I made it so you can be able to see the targets that I'm seeing, and again on my screen, I could not see nothing. I couldn't. I don't know what it was. I don't know like what type of settings I had. Like, yeah, I did all the low settings, where we all looked at. I did low everything, and it just still looked like it was off. And I had motion blur off. And when I'm looking at the soldier, it looks like it was like motion blur or some type of like shadow effect when the person's running or everything per, pertaining to the environment. It was weird. I couldn't really explain it well. It was like the texturing wasn't really there. I don't know if it was the HD texture filtering that you install. I don't know if you have to uninstall that, but it was something on my POV that I did not like, and it was also worsening my effect of seeing people when it was already bad at that exact moment. And that is generally all that I had a problem with. The gunplay, it does feel off as well. I did in the beginning, I was like, oh, okay. The spread is there, but it feels weird. I don't like it's still some stuff that we don't know. Obviously, we got the whole patch notes. We still don't know like everything about the patch notes. Not saying that they hid anything, but it's just the the amount of people that was in it. It made it seem like the the game wasn't really working well, right? And again, the portals, y'all know everybody messed with the portal in the server browser, so the server browser was not working right because everybody did not have no official games that actually played normal. And yeah, it was just a few things that wasn't necessarily too good for the launch of Battlefield, and it's very easy to fix that. It's not necessarily a bad effect on Battlefield. Now, obviously, the game is still miles better than the last Battlefield, and I think that more things can pertain to Battlefield if they just get those little bugs fixed. It was still some other bugs um like the launch bug, getting launched in the air by some little unknown object, liftable object, and some other things like that. I but my main problems is the visibility, gunplay, the movement. Like they don't necessarily need to make it overpowered again. They just need to like remove that stop effect so we can have more freedom. Because obviously in the background, nobody is utilizing the movement as they should. I'm not saying that, the movement is, the key to everything, but I'm saying it looks like nobody was able to use the movement in that way. But it's just my thoughts, my opinion. If you have a different opinion, you can write it in the comments. I'll check those opinions as well. But generally, I had a fun time playing Battlefield. We just need to get a actual server browser as well, so we can have like actual servers because we're gonna have like who knows maybe like 100,000 concurrent players if we have like an actual good, run of Battlefield. And the last thing I want to get off my chest and say some good news for y'all for the final topic of this video is that everybody that was receiving launch issues and all of us, EA messaged everybody and said that we are going to be able to get some double XP points and we will be able tokens and we'll be able to apply those and get double XP for our weapons or our level or rank. So it's good to watch out for those as well. Go to your gifts. I guess they'll send them to there and you can claim them. Claim your rewards from your mailbox as well if you did the 2042 challenges. And one last thing is the people who bought premium will be able to receive the season 2 battle pass. I don't necessarily know why just season 2. I thought it would actually be season 1 since, we're only in the first season. I don't know too much about how season 1 is going to be. They didn't give us anything about season 1, obviously. And we don't even know what season 2 is. We never even seen what season 2 is. I think it was just, the November and the December. Y'all know in my last video, right? So yeah, that's necessarily all I want to say for this video. I will be posting more videos like this and some settings videos and everything to get situated. And I just want to say that the game is not at its peak yet. Of course, BF3, BF4, all those battlefields had, a similar type of, launch like this. We just need to see the long term, and I'm rooting for the long term of the game. So I just want to get that off my chest. And hey, we might be back. Might be back. It's not a bad game. It wasn't necessarily too much of a bad launch. It was just irritating at the first moment. And then once we got used to it, yeah, we know that this game is gonna be good. It's just breakthrough right now in the background. It's not necessarily the best map for these type of games. These maps. So yeah, that's all I want to say for this video. I will be streaming on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. You can check it out at Worldology on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, Worldology. And yeah, I'll see y'all. And yeah, I'm out. I think I got my play style locked now. Just have to look up there.